Stay tuned to find out how video killed the podcasting stars. Only here on the Extended Play Podcast.
It's the Extended Play Podcast with Ian Tank. We are a music discussion show without the hipster snobbery. And today we are going to do an old favorite segment that we've done in the past.
Sure.
We've done it a few times, and it's called My Five. And what My Five is we basically share five of our favorite something with each other. We don't know ahead of time. We haven't talked about it ahead of time, and we'll share it with you, the audience. We've done, to give you context, the most recent one we did was top albums, my five favorite albums of 2023.
Yep.
We've done favorite holiday songs. We've done favorite hip hop songs, country, live songs. So we've done it a few times. So check the feed for our old episodes. Those will be audio only episodes. So
yeah, before we learned about video technology,
yeah, it's the real deal now, right?
Yeah.
You get to see our lovely faces as we go through this. But
sorry about that.
Yeah. Today's subject for my five is music videos. We've talked about this in the past. We are card-carrying members of the MTV generation. Music videos were essential to our sort of becoming giant music fans, right?
Yeah.
MTV was on constantly as we were kids. It's basically all I watched were music videos, live shows, things like that.
Yeah. Although for me, not until late 80s.
Oh, right, because you didn't have cable.
We didn't have cable. It was a big deal when we finally got that in the household, but which I think skews some of the nostalgic feelings for videos a little bit.
Sure.
Because a lot of the early to mid 80s stuff, I'm aware of it. You know, it's some nostalgia, but I don't remember watching it like in my house when it was popular.
Right. And then you have that contrasted with today where there is no MTV. There's no way on you have to seek out music videos, right?
And by the way,
I know
for all it's still, which we're going to discuss probably at length.
Yeah.
It's still a powerful medium.
It is.
So out of the channels, streams, whatever, you know what? Oddly enough, I bet that's one of the last linear programming ideas that would be viable. Because
music television.
There's a whole thing in just last week, I think, in The Daily Show, right, where Jon Stewart does a Q&A before the show. And one of the fans is like, well, how do you feel about, isn't television a dying medium?
Sure. Okay.
And he referenced it on the air, made a joke about it. And then, but it sparked a discussion about it. It is kind of true that linear programming is essentially dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the idea of show 24/7 is dead,
right.
with the exception of local news and sports.
Right.
I would think that if there's any format that might still work, it would be a music video channel.
It'd be great.
That you would just say, I don't know what's going to come up next, but go ahead and play some videos.
Right. And the thing is, they're still making them, and they're still spending a lot of, some record companies are spending a lot of, or maybe the artists themselves are spending a ton of money. Shoot, I have a cousin who, that's what he does. He makes music videos for a living. Hopefully we're actually going to have him on the show, but yeah, so it's a thing, but you have to seek out you just have to rely on the algorithm or what you're looking for explicitly. I don't know.
We should start a music video channel.
It'd be great. Yeah, we'd be good VJs.
Of course we would.
Yeah, we would. Yeah. That'd be a finely curated music channel.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
Be a lot of Armored Saint, I have a feeling.
Oh, the best. So anyway, it's a big deal. I wish it was still a bigger deal.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a bit of a trip down memory lane and just run through what we think are five favorites. Again, what does favorite mean? Yeah, we don't fucking know. It could be what we think is significant, personal attachment, whatever. Yeah. That's part of the beauty of it is we don't really have fucking rules.
Right. And they may change. Our favorites probably would change if we were to do this.
I already regret two of the five that I wrote down.
Same, exactly the same. Yep. Okay.
Right. So I will get it kicked off.
All right.
We're going to bounce back and forth here. We'll start with number 5 because that's what countdowns do.
That's right.
Although maybe one of these days we should just, let's start number 1 maybe. Have everyone just click away and tune out early.
Mine aren't ranked, so
of course they aren't.
So I'm starting. I could be starting at 1. I could be starting at 3. I don't know.
Who knows? All right. For me, number 5 though, and I did rank them, is "Take on Me" by Aha.
Excellent.
So I kind of knew going into it that one of the 5 but should be just a classic.
Yeah, that's
video,
fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, okay, of all the ones that are, and for an example, the ones that I think everyone agrees are the classic seminal videos that we got Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel.
Yep.
And like Once in a Lifetime Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, and one of them has to be on the list because they're so important to the medium.
Sure.
But the Take On Me one was like, it's still kind of mind blowing that they pulled it off.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even with all of our current technology, it's still pretty amazing visually.
It absolutely is.
It's a great song.
Okay.
And ton of nostalgia and everything else.
Sure.
But so I mean, I wanted something like that on the list. It's one of those things that if I happen across it, which I don't know, when the fuck I happen across music videos anymore.
Right.
Although it did happen a lot, again, back, maybe to this day in Europe, their cable TV still has it. Like,
like VH1 Classic or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
So, I loved it. I think it's, it's just part of pop culture now, but it's a great video.
And we'll drop clips of the video, obviously, right here. But it's the hand-drawn animation. I just think in general, if you think about animation, how we've gone from basically all hand-drawn to all computer-generated, or if it's hand-drawn, it's drawn on a tablet. It's incredible to think that they could do this much work, that they would do this much work. First of all, how many frames of drawing there must have been.
I mean, seriously.
And then all of the panning where you got the real life person and then all of a sudden it switches to a drawn person. I mean, it's just incredible. Even like we're kind of watching this alongside of while we're talking. There's a scene where like a drawn hand reaches out of a table or a notebook or something, and it does not look like, it's not like old timey movies where you see like the wires, right, where it looks like really chintzy. It looks as they couldn't make it look any better today if they were to do that same effect, which is
anything,
incredible.
It might look worse.
And this is 83. 83.
That's ridiculous.
That's a long time ago, man.
40 years.
40 years. Wow. Some people that are watching this show were not born when the video came out. So if you haven't checked it out, check out Aha, Take On Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very of the 80s, but fantastic video.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. For my first choice, I'm going to go with the 80s as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's one I've talked about on this show before. Okay. No surprise here. I chose Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before by the Smiths.
I don't know if I've ever seen this video.
No. It's pretty unremarkable, really. It just has personal significance to me.
Sure.
So the video, so this is 86 or something like that when this comes out. I'm 10 years old, 11, 12 years old. And I've told this story before, but for those of you new to the channel, anyway, it bears repeating.
Oh, is this what, where he's acting feminine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, the video is only Morrissey of the Smiths. None of the other members of the band are in the video. Of course not, right? Which is probably why they don't exist as a band anymore.
Yeah, it's very on brand.
Right. But I wrote down in the first 10 seconds of this music video, you're clearly in England somewhere.
Yes.
Low sky, gray, dark, grimy. Yeah, you're definitely you're not in London either. You're somewhere else. Turns out you're in Manchester in the 80s, which is a pretty bleak scene. Within the first 10 seconds you get, so a bike rides over a Smiths poster, which is in a puddle. Don't understand why that would be. There's a photo of Oscar Wilde not pinned, but like tacked to a brick wall. I don't know if when I was 10 years old, I knew that was Oscar Wilde, but I do now. I know that Morrissey was a big fan. And then there's the weird road signs directing you to places in England. Road signs are like, when you see a road sign from another country, you see them all the time because you travel a lot. Yeah. It fucks you all up. You're like, it's just so bizarre. The different ways people, anyway. And one of the signs is to strange ways. And I'm like, what? So in 10 seconds, I'm like, what is this world? Like, I don't understand any of this shit. And then as the video progressed, it's really just Morrissey and a bunch of Morrissey lookalikes. And I mean lookalikes. They're all wearing the same glasses. They've all styled their hair in the same way. They're all on shitty, like 10 speeds. Yeah. Not even 10 speeds. They have like baskets on the front of them. They're like one speeds, riding their bikes around Manchester. And Morrissey never lip syncs. There are no instruments in the video.
No, there's really not.
So all of it was, I remember just going, what the fuck is going on in this video? And they played it a decent amount too.
Yeah. And at this time frame, a video like this that feeling wouldn't be weird today.
No, it wouldn't be weird
today.
But
this is back when videos were pretty formulaic.
Yeah, like straight to camera a lot of time, right? Or there was like some story that was like somewhat cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the story I told before is that seeing this sort of thin, effeminate character not singing, seemed to be disaffected by his own song, maybe even. It doesn't smile a whole lot. It made me sort of reevaluate, like, what it means to be a musician. Like I was just so used to the macho posturing of hair metal, which I was super into, and then hip hop as well as sort of the machismo behind that. And this is the opposite of that, and it really kind of blew me away. And thought, oh, okay, I guess it doesn't matter if you're pounding your chest and you think you're a badass. You can kind of be just who you are. Now, looking at this video, it kind of looks like he looks a little bit like me. He's got glasses and
it's slowly morphing into Morrissey. Circa 1986.
Yeah. Anyway, so just maybe for the ingenuity at the time, it's one of my favorite videos of all time for sure.
All right, so that comes back to me at number 4 of my ranked list. Number 4 I have as Estranged, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, cool.
So, November Rain is the traditional, great video, right? I did spend a fair amount of time looking at lists to get ideas, and November Rain is all over the list. Sure. It's pretty high up.
Yeah,
and arguably probably a better video.
Okay.
What I like about Estranged, 2 things. Okay. Number 1, the gratuitous makeout scene in November Rain.
Oh yeah,
ruins it for me.
It was weird.
It was really weird.
It was like tongues. I think that might have been the first time I'd seen tongues on screen. It was
like,
weird,
dude. It's like that's your real life girlfriend.
Yeah,
you didn't need the video as an excuse to do that,
right?
And your Axl Rose, we're pretty sure you could hammer whatever ass you wanted to at that point in time.
Sure.
So like, what? Why?
Yeah, it was weird.
Completely takes you out of the moment.
It does.
It really. The focus went from the song to what the fuck is going on all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone remembers the iconic Slash, like in a church in the middle of nowhere playing a
guitar solo.
But Estranged. So other than the makeout scene, which knocks November Rain down, it's the dolphin in the street that is the tiebreaker here. Do you remember that?
I do remember it vaguely.
And I hadn't watched it in a while, so in watching it again, it doesn't age as well.
Oh, okay.
I think November Rain has this classic cinematic.
I see.
This feels more
of
in the moment, but also more surreal.
Oh,
and it's weird,
which I like. I mean, that's awesome.
It's weird, and then there's a lot more. There's a lot more performance footage mixed in, which cool. Which I didn't remember.
Okay, I don't remember that at all.
It's exactly. It's funny how the brain filters that out.
Right.
Like, and it's a decent chunk of it, like a third of it's performance. But if you would have told me, like, does Estranged have concert footage? I'm like, no, fuck no. It's got dolphins.
Right.
I think that's what it is. Is that as much as about part of it is pretty tame in terms of music video. I think this came after. This is a continuation of November Rain.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. Storytelling wise. So. It's just so gratuitously over the top. At some point, Axl is on an oil tanker.
What? I don't remember that at all.
Right. I know. I instinctively was like, Estranged. And I go back and watch it. I'm like, this is more fucked up than I remember. He turns into the dolphin. The dolphin is some sort of symbolism for Axl. It's just everything is over the top. It's like pulling back the curtain on their excessive lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then even from the video aspect of production, there's an oil tanker, there's a Coast Guard helicopter rescuing Axl out of the ocean.
Jesus.
It's just like, it's just everything that was extra. Is arguably the peak probably of production and spending in music video.
Millions and millions of dollars, I'm sure. Yeah.
Right. I think after this is maybe when it, just started to tone down, but just lightning in a bottle of just how ridiculously big Guns N' Roses was. Some cool video effects and just a whole lot of what the fuck. So
Axl wearing very short shorts.
Yeah. And in his, it's just weird. The video can't even make up its mind. It's like it's half performance and then half surrealism. It's like if Salvador Dali made a music video.
Okay.
Minus the performance footage, this is what he would have made.
That makes sense. Cool.
Yep.
This was on a lot of lists. I did see it. I saw November Rain, but I also saw this on a lot of lists.
Okay. And I mean, I'll save it for a future day, but I have a lot of beef with those lists.
Oh, yeah.
Those lists were horrible.
Yeah, they were horrible. Not useful.
No.
Not useful. No. I agree.
Like one of them had a Beyonce video as number one. Fuck off.
Oh, the transformation video, that's pretty much, everybody thinks that's the best. Fuck off.
All right.
I get it. My second choice is Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Not familiar with it.
Video or the song?
I love it. Oh, really? Or the song? Mm-mm. Excellent.
Don't stray. Well, my kind's your kind. I'll stay the same. Pack up. Well, don't stray. Oh, say, say, say. Oh, say, say, say. Wait. They don't love you like I love you. Wait. They don't love you like I love you. Maps. Wait. Well, they don't love me like I love you.
Okay, I really love the song, and obviously, I think that's you gotta like the song, right, to start off with. But the video, and we'll drop clips of it. It's really a straight up performance video. This is the first time I think this is either the first or second single by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. This is the first time I had ever heard of them. And it's got one of my absolute favorite intros to a song ever. And Tank and I just talked about this in a recent podcast when there's heavy drums at the beginning of an intro. So it's got this really high-pitched guitar sound to start off with nothing else. And then the drums come in super, and it's got this very, to me, iconic drum beat.
Okay.
With just the sort of, almost like a tape loop behind it. Okay, so it's like I said, straight up performance video mostly. So you do get to see a little behind the scenes. It looks like it takes place in like a high school gymnasium, and they've got like those old folding tables set up, and the crew are all sitting there and eating and prepping stuff. And they pan over it. They pan over that crowd once in a while, and it looks like the crew of the video is just kind of sitting around watching them perform, which is a weird thing. But anyway, the performance is not terribly remarkable, but there is one very remarkable thing about it, and that is it's sort of what this video is known for. Is Karen O is very obviously incredibly dramatic, incredibly charismatic lead singer, and there's a lot of tight close-ups on her face, so you're watching the expressions as she sings, and it's a love song. There is a point where the sort of kind of guitar solo drops, which is the Kelly Clarkson ripped off for Since You've Been Gone. It's the da-na-na-na, da-na, da-na-na-na. And you're looking at her face and you can't help because you're so tight in on her face, and she's losing it. She starts to get super emotional, and then at a certain point, a couple tears start falling down her face, and like I'm getting a little worked up just looking at it.
Because that's what's happening. That's what we're watching right now.
It's a little hard to watch. She's really going through it, and it is not a performance. Like it's a performance of a song, but that's it. And the story goes that they were filming this video. Videos take like all day, even though it's like a 4-minute video that takes like 12 hours of recording. Her boyfriend was supposed to be there, and she was leaving for tour the next day, and he was 3 hours late, and she didn't think he was coming. Okay. And she was like singing this love song that she wrote about him. I'm guessing, no relationships are perfect, so maybe she was focusing on like, one, I'm not going to see him, or two, maybe I don't know. But she is fucking going through it, and it's endearing. You kind of want to reach out and give her a hug.
Yeah, seriously.
But just super impressive.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I love it to pieces. It's such a great video for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No,
So-
that is. I mean, and without that context,
Yeah.
the video's not nearly as enjoyable.
Absolutely. But I know you're like me. If you would have watched the video and you saw the tear, you would immediately been Googling,
Yeah,
what is
that's
she
true.
crying about?
And I mean, was it? I wonder if it was one take, or maybe
I
they
don't
just
know.
kept that take
They kept that take. And yeah. I
Right?
don't know if it was one take. Good question.
because, I mean, either that or I mean, it's like they catch that once, like, well, that has to be the focus of the video.
Yes, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's my second choice.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So for my number 3, or as he would say in his third video, my number 3 is Nobody Speak, DJ Shadow with Run the Jewels.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Picture this, I'm a bag of dicks, put me to your lips. I am sick, I will punch a baby bear in his shit. Give me lip, I'ma send you to the yard. Get a stick, make a switch. I can end the conversation real quick. I am crack, I ain't lying. Kick a lion in his crack, I'm the shit. I will fall off in your crib, take a shit. Hit your mama on the booty, kick your dog, fuck your bitch. That boy dressed up like he Santa and took pictures with your kids.
So I love this for so many reasons.
It's really good.
And this introduced me to Run the Jewels.
Oh, did it? Okay.
I think I mentioned this way back in the day. I didn't know. So I had DJ Shadow's introducing,
Incredible album.
right?
Yeah.
So I knew of DJ Shadow. So this comes out, and it was a big deal. You know, when it came out, it was played a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought Run the Jewels. I didn't know who or what Run the Jewels was,
Okay,
and I'm like, why is Killer Mike on this?
Oh,
Because it says featuring Run the Jewels. Like, that's Killer Mike.
yeah, you know him from Outkast.
Right, from
Yeah,
Outkast
yeah.
and his solo stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't know. Of course, I didn't realize till later they're in the video, both of them.
Right.
Heavily made up, at least for LP. But yeah, this started me down the Run the Jewels rabbit, which...
Oh, nice. Represent.
So there's LP, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
So anyway, but really well done. If you've seen it, you already know exactly what's happening right now as we talk in the video.
Right.
But shot in Ukraine, actually.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Okay.
And none of these actors spoke English.
Really?
Yep. So everyone had to, you have to memorize and lip sync in
Yeah.
a language that is not yours.
So describe what it is, because we will show a clip.
Yeah,
but-
we'll show a clip, but basically it's like a United Nations type situation. A bunch of politicians sitting on a gigantic table, like
Yeah.
100 feet across,
Right.
and they're basically talking shit to they're lip syncing the lyrics of the song in a way that they're talking shit back and forth. It's like there's an antagonist and protagonist, and they are lip syncing to each other. 2 men in their 60s, traditional politician looking,
Right.
and the scene just devolves from shit talking to absolute chaos and a fist fight.
Nobody speak, nobody get choked. Hey. Nobody speak, nobody get choked. Hey. Nobody speak. Nobody speak.
In slow motion, one of those weird like Beastie Boys, like slow motion but real time type things going on. Someone's getting stabbed with a flag. There's a wild pig at one point. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't remember that part.
Which I'm sure is a metaphor.
Yeah.
But visually amazing. The room that they're in, it's just amazing. Everyone, like the number one Googled thing on this is where was it shot?
Okay.
Because it's this government type
Yeah.
building in Ukraine somewhere. Hopefully still exists.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, this video in and of itself is awesome. Also, Run the Jewels video, they have a lot
They do.
of incredible videos.
They do.
So I basically, at some point, Run the Jewels was going to have this slot, and then I had to go through Close Your Eyes and Count to Fuck.
That's a great one.
It's got a lot of social commentary, very well done. Legend Has
It's really good.
The Acid Trip. Yankee and the Brave is an amazing animated video.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, there's the pig. But no, they do an amazing job with videos. They clearly take even Walking in the Snow. Like
I don't think I've seen
it's
that
like
one.
claymation.
Oh, cool.
About immigration. It's just
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah.
RTJ does amazing videos, and I think this is the most fun and memorable one. It's kind of like there's movies that when they come on, you're like, oh fuck, I'm watching this
I'm
whole
watching
thing.
this.
Same thing with this video. The video comes on, it's like I'm not skipping it.
Yep, for sure.
So anyway, that's my
Nice.
number 3.
Good choice. My next choice is Coffee and TV by Blur.
I saw this on a lot of lists.
Okay.
And I don't remember anything other than the milk carton.
That's all I remember too.
Okay.
And I remember like a love story, like he met another milk carton at one point, which is pretty great. So again, we'll show clips of it, but I didn't remember that the plot, there is a full blown plot. And the plot is it opens up on a family and they've got a framed photo of the guitar player, Graham Coxon from Blur on the wall. And they look very distraught. They're all in their bathrobes and stuff. It's the morning. And then you see a milk carton at the front of the table. And it's got a picture of Graham Coxon on it too. So he's clearly missing. It's the same photo too, which is hysterical. Also, what's the likelihood that you get your own kid on the milk cart?
Yes.
Like that's, okay, so that was a thing for those of you that don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Where for 80s thing. 80s
By the
and
way,
90s.
did you get the Amber Alert last week?
I did. That's scary shit.
Okay. I'll say that for another show. Okay. But the effectiveness of that?
Oh, it can't be.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, it's 2:30. It's like, quick, where are my pants?
Right. Anyway, so it was a thing in the 80s and 90s where when kids went missing, were kidnapped or whatever, they put their name, their face, a picture of them on milk cartons with vital information, last place seen, how tall they are, and all that kind of stuff. The idea being if you saw them out and about, you'd report it.
Must have been effective.
Why? It must have been.
I don't know why milk. I guess they think everyone gets
likes milk. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's wild.
But that's a cultural reference that kids today, like if someone said like, oh, his game is, on a milk carton, like it's missing. And people are like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
And by the way, what's milk?
Right. Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
Almond. You mean almond milk?
Yeah.
No. So, okay. So then you see the milk carton and you see Graham Coxon's face on it. And then, and the family's distraught. And then the milk carton sprouts arms and legs and gets up and just starts walking around. And so it goes from being kind of dour to like very funny. Like you can't help but smile the entire time you're watching it, especially because, and again, this is the 90s, 96 or something like that. They do a great job of syncing up the little way the milk carton is walking with the actual tune, which is kind of like a, jaunty, like little number. Mm-hmm. It's so great. And the animation, his facial expressions change when things happen in the video. So like he's making a trip, and it's you figure out pretty quickly he's going to find the guitarist. He's like the guy who's on the side of his head, which is bizarre. So he'll walk down a busy road, and a car will come at him and be like, ah, and his facial expressions will change. At one point, he hitches a ride on the back of a motorcycle. It's just so good. He meets Strawberry Milk at one point. Like he's in like a downtown area, and he's on the edge of the street, and across the street is a Strawberry Milk, and they make eye contact. Like you can see they're like falling in love. He walks across the street. And someone steps on her and like crushes her, and he's like distraught and crying. It's so bizarre. Oh, okay. So anyway, by the 3.5, 4, 5 minutes, however long the song is, eventually he's going down. It's a dark alley, and he looks in a window, and Blur is playing. There's like a rehearsal space, and he falls through the window. The Graham Coxon notices there's a picture of him. He thinks about his family, and then he decides to go home. And at the end of the video, he takes the milk carton and he goes home. He drinks the milk carton, he slams it, then throws it in the garbage, and then walks in, and you kind of see them reunite. It's very, very sweet. And then you see, so he's crushed the milk carton, and then the milk carton sprouts wings and slowly flies up to heaven. And then the strawberry milk comes in and joins him. It is so absurd and so good. The band's not in it a whole lot, which I don't mind. I mean, this is just so much going on.
Yeah. I mean, how high was someone who thought of this video?
Seriously.
And thank God they were. But
yeah. Oh, so
this is not a pitch of a sober person.
No, it is not. No. Clearly not. But yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. It's one of my absolute favorites.
All right. So for my number 2 video, I have some unorthodox choice. George Michael, Praying for Time.
Praying for Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to love. There's so much to hate. Hanging on to hope when there is no hope to speak of, and the wounded skies above say it's much too late. Well, maybe we should all be praying for time.
So I think most people, if you say George Michael, it's going to be Freedom 90 is up there on the list because he uses all the supermodels as a statement. And then Faith is, of course, an iconic video. But the Praying for Time video was really taking the Freedom 90 concept a step further. So Freedom 90 was, okay, I know that the big running joke is I'm a narcissist and my ass literally is all over the video. So I'm going to not be in the video, use supermodels instead.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming that came out before Praying for Time. I don't think
sure.
Praying for Time was the first single.
No, I don't think so.
But then Praying for Time's video takes it a step further. There is no video. It's a text video, which now, again, a 20-year-old would be like, big fucking deal.
Yeah,
Most videos are lyric videos.
That's true. Yeah.
This was unheard of.
Yeah,
This was a big deal.
Yeah, for one of the biggest pop stars in the world to like say, I'm putting out a single, but we're not really doing a video.
Right. And it's, at almost a Michael Jackson level of popularity. And then remember, video premieres were a big deal.
They were a big deal.
So it was like, and it was, what is it going to be? Like Michael Jackson in the black or white video.
Yeah.
And like, it was this one-upsmanship. And then for probably one of the arguably top 5 pop stars in the world at that time, here's his big premiere, and it's just lyrics on the screen.
Yeah.
So it was, but it's a beautiful song.
It is.
And a great choice for a song to make this point. I think if you don't have a song that's this beautifully written.
And kind of somber.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The concept wouldn't have worked without a beautifully written song.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
again, the right time, it was revolutionary in its simplicity. And it's one of my favorite songs too.
Oh, it's really good.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to turn everything on its head, and really, and I'd have to look this up. I bet this and Estranged were not far apart.
Oh, that's crazy. to
Probably a
think.
year or two.
Right.
So
Wow.
I think maybe it was a reaction against music video had reached its ridiculous, ostentatious peak. And it was, okay, let's go completely the other way.
Yeah.
And it's just the lyrics to the song. It's basically a karaoke screen.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I love it. Amazing song. And
great.
I think because of this, it's one of the videos that you knew what it was, right? Most people remember what it was because of what it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, good point.
Yep.
Yeah, it really is brave as a pop star to have such a focus on the lyrics in particular. It's a really brave move.
Right. Because, I mean, and Brave gets thrown around a lot, but at this point in time, it does have a financial impact, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if the idea goes over like a fart in church and they never play it, there's economic consequences to not having a popular video.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Good choice.
Yeah.
My 4th out of 5.
Some might say number 2.
That's right. My 4th choice is Sigur Rós, and the song is, I think it's Glossoli. Familiar with this video at all? No. Okay. Again,
It's very on brand that I'm not familiar with any of your videos.
Right. Also, sensing a trend here that the musicians are not in this video at all.
Oh,
Yeah. So it must be a thing for me. I guess I was thinking more cinematic for some reason.
there's a lot of ways you can go with this.
There
but
are. Yeah. So I won't describe the entire video, but it's basically all children. There's one, it starts off with a kid waking up and he's got like a military-ish type outfit on. He's probably like my daughter's age, like maybe 10 years old. And he's got a big bass drum. And throughout the video, he travels along what you pretty quickly figure out must be the Icelandic shoreside.
Maybe it's a fjord.
Could be a fjord. There's lots of lava rocks, I think. Anyway, and this troop of like, I don't know, like almost like lost children, like lost kids, like Peter Pan, you think, join him. And you don't quite know where they're going. And they're sort of parading towards somewhere. And again, there's no performance. He's got a bass drum, but he's never playing it. So he's not even miming along with the song until you get to the very end. Yeah, but anyway, at the culmination sort of climax of the video, they reach a precipice and the boy starts banging on the drum just as the song is really reaching a crescendo. And all of a sudden, like very typical Sigur Rós, quiet, loud, the guitars start really building. It's this sort of chaos of noise, and he starts banging the drum along with the song, holds up his hand, and then points forward, and all the kids take off towards the edge of this precipice. And I remember the first time you're watching this video, you're like, well, what the fuck's going to happen? And pause it now if you don't know.
I don't know. I'm watching it right now.
I'm going to let Tank watch it and then explain it.
Because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And it's more dramatic when you've been watching the whole 4 minutes and watching them all gather, and they take a nap together, and one of them like reaches out and holds the other one's hand. Like it's just so pretty.
Cinematography is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. They nailed it on this one.
I mean, I hope they sprout wings if... Now, see, why would you do that? Aw. Is the last kid flying?
He is. I know it's not clear. And
no,
a lot of people were like, he did a cannonball?
I thought that kid died.
I know. No, he did. He
did die?
No. Oh. He may have, unrelated to this video.
Yeah, turns out he had leukemia.
Not my favorite part of the story, but
that's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, not that like I direct, like I'm responsible for it. So I love the way they fly. That they're kind of swimming. That's a unique perspective to take on it. And throughout the video, they're looking at a lot of bleak countryside. There's one point where they see a couple older boys, and they're about to set fire to a car. And anything that has like non sort of natural imprint on it is seen as kind of, I don't know, it seems like it's a commentary on the innocence of children,
right?
Not fitting in with the modern world. And I don't know, something about how special childhood is and things like that. So, and at the very end, when they sort of fly, you can see off in the distance, there's some other, to me, it's like some other place.
Okay.
And to me, it's like a more innocent place, a place where they can just be children. But
nice. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely going to watch
really
that.
Like it. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. So for my number one, kind of a play on words here.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Unsurprisingly, you knew they were coming sooner or later. Metallica.
Yeah.
With One.
Nothing is real but pain now. Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh, please, God, wake me.
I just went ahead and chopped off everything. Oh, God, please make them hear me. They won't listen. They won't hear me.
I'll wake me up. I'll be like this for years.
Hear me.
So the video, it sort of pushed me over the edge to being the fanatic that I am with the band. My introduction to them was right about Master of Puppets time, 87, 88, shortly after it came out. And, I was still digging them, but they were kind of in the same bucket as Anthrax and all kinds of other speed metal-ish kind of stuff. And then we all remember the One video.
Yeah.
And again, for how much of a outlier it was at the time, the Michael Jackson videos, whatever else. This is when Metallica started to enter the mainstream, pre-Black Album, but this is when it was cool. This was the brief period of time.
Yeah.
Metallica was cool for everyone.
For everyone, that's true.
And
Old
Justice
fans,
for All.
Yeah, that's true.
It was still metal.
Yeah.
And they had this dangerous outsider thing to them that one kind of got them in the mainstream a little bit. And then when Black Album came out, they lost the real metal fans.
Right. So
but
stupid.
Yeah, this was a period where they kind of had everyone's attention. And they famously said throughout the 80s, because this is, by now this is their fourth album. And we all know how important MTV and videos were. They swore over and over again, we're never going to make a video, never going to make a video.
Right.
So when they did make one, they knew they had to hit a home run. You can't come out with some weak ass video.
Right.
They knew they were going to catch hell from their fan. All their stupid basement dwelling fans like, oh, you sold out. You made a video.
Right.
But they ran into a concept they could not make a video for. Right. So the general concept of One, it's based on I didn't realize that Dalton Trumbo was like involved in Spartacus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if he's a screenwriter or whatever.
Okay.
But anyway, he did, wrote a book, Johnny Got His Gun, and later became a movie, very culty movie.
Okay.
Like one of the reviews of this said it inexplicably had a PG rating. Like,
oh, Jesus.
It's definitely
really?
rated R type.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's disturbing.
But the concept is, I believe it's during World War I, a person gets kind of blown up by a mine and they have no arms, no legs, deaf, blind. They're nothing but existing, right? So you know that that's the concept of the video. And then if you hear that, it's like, oh wow, that'd be weird, you know?
Right.
But the video does an incredible, and in my opinion, the best job of any video of weaving the story of the song, giving it gravitas, giving it emotion through, they use clips from the movie extensively. They had to buy the movie.
Oh, really?
They own the rights to the movie to use it all.
Okay.
But just a masterful blend of using clips of cinema to tell the story without interrupting the song, and the tone and tenor of the clips matching the music.
And they wrote the song about the movie.
Yes.
Or the book. Okay.
Yeah, the book inspired the song.
Got it.
So, it's really as much an editing masterpiece as anything else.
That's true.
Because,
good point.
As we all know, one goes from melodic and acoustic to the thrashiest of thrashy. And at the beginning, they put movie clips that are spoken word, building up the story, the soldier as a child, his father. And as the song goes on and the music gets more violent and aggressive, the clips become more dire and pessimistic. And so there's this multi-reaction video on YouTube that I didn't know was a thing, like aggregating reaction videos, but it's actually a great concept.
Yeah.
And it made me fall in love with it all over again, because it shows the reaction of, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 15 people who do these sorts of things, the majority of which have not seen the song before, of course. And my favorite part, and he will make sure that you guys get this in extended scrolling or something, is at the very end, when the song ends, it's a multi-reaction of everyone sitting there. Again, you'll see it, but it's a mix of sad, confused, bemused. And it's exactly how everyone feels after seeing this for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
Holy shit.
And there are so few, I think, music videos, pieces of art, whatever you want to call it, that have the ability to do that, to leave you speechless.
Yeah, sure.
And you literally have to sit there and process what you just saw.
Yeah.
And like one of the people in the reaction video says, like, okay, I knew what the song was about.
Oh,
but this is a whole different thing.
Okay.
That when you see it with the clips and everything put together, it hits you in a way that they did not see coming.
Yeah.
And for me, as someone who's seen this a million times, like, it's the purest form of reaction video joy to see someone see it for the first time. Like, you get to see it for the first time.
So good.
And to see their demeanor change, because when the video started, all of them were like, all right, let's check it out.
Yeah.
Like music videos are. Like, they're all like, hey, today we're doing one from Metallica.
Right. Wow, man. That's super heavy.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And if you have the time, I don't bother with the first half. Watch the whole second half of that. And to see the change in people have, their genuine reaction, and they go from, all right, okay, it's kind of heavy, it's kind of fast. And then in the middle, they're all like, okay. And then at the end, they're just like, like you could tell them, like, whatever.
What do I do with this information?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do I, that everyone talked about that later in the day.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
So I love that. Of course, I'm incredibly biased. I realize it's not the only video that does that.
Sure.
A lot of videos make people feel a lot of things, but I don't know that I've seen something that blends cinema and the song together so much to create such a visceral effect on the viewer.
No, good call. Yeah. Great choice. And now for something completely different. My final video is an OK Go video.
Nice. Which I thought about.
Yeah, did you? Yes. I mean, obviously it's at a top of a lot of the lists.
Right. And understandably
yeah.
so.
And here we go again. It's the first one that really got a lot of notoriety. My favorite is This Too Shall Pass. And there's actually two versions of this video. There's one that most people are probably familiar with, which is the Rube Goldberg one.
Small aside about OK Go. They were the last gasp, I think, of music video.
Yeah. I mean, they still do it.
They still do it. But like they were the only band in the last 20 years that brought attention to music video.
To music videos as an art form.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, so so they're wearing. It starts off they're wearing marching band uniforms, and the band members are, and they're marching through a empty field with trees in the background. And as they're playing a bass drum, a snare, an accordion, and a xylophone, and marching around lip syncing, all of a sudden, like people will spring forth wearing like giant grass suits, and it's the rest of the marching band. And so it's all a play on these sort of like surprising little moments. It turns out it's the Notre Dame marching band. They couldn't wear the actual uniforms for copyright stuff. But there's so many things. It's just so joyous, and clearly everyone's having an awesome time. It's a different arrangement than the actual song on the record. Oh. And you can now get it. Like they made it available, which I've lamented in the past. I hate when they do that, when they do a different mix for the video and then you can't get that on record or whatever. Anyway, so it's this performance for most of it. And then it gets to a spot where they stop playing and they pan across the field. And there's people holding up these signs like on bleachers that have the chorus to the song. And the song's called This Too Shall Pass. And it is about like, hang in there, man. It's going to be okay. And I'm a sucker for songs like that, right? Because I'm not that kind of person. It might surprise you to know. Nobody who knows me that would surprise. But yeah. And then the whole band gathers together. The drum major comes in and they play the whole thing. It's just, I don't know. I smile. I've watched this video 1,000 times. I smile every single time I watch it.
I'm trying to look for a cut too. Maybe, is this one take?
No, it's one take.
Damn.
Yep.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is.
Imagine we get to the end of the song and you have like a key part.
Yep. Yeah. And at the very end, when the song ends, a bunch of little kids rush in. Oh, because they're part of the chorus too. They start singing, Can't Start Letting It Get You Down or whatever they say. And they start running around with streamers and playing amongst the band. And it turns out I did watch, they did like what was that called? Pop-up video? Do you remember pop-up video? They sort of did a version of that where the lead singer talked about what was happening in each scene. And it turns out it was local elementary school kids. And apparently there was twice as many, but they're like, takes too far. They all got bored. Like they couldn't stay. So it ends up being like 10 kids left over playing.
The 10 kids with the most Ritalin in their system that day.
Right. Yeah. And then this final scene, I guess the camera's so all over the place because it was literally a camera tied to a rope over a crane, and there was a Notre Dame football player walking backwards, pulling the camera so they could get an overhead angle of it.
This is pre-drone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And apparently they shot this in Indiana. I mean, everything's Notre Dame related.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just love it.
No, that's great. What I love is like, I don't really know any of these.
Oh,
so
good.
I'll go watch them today and enjoy them.
And we'll make a playlist of all these videos. We'll put it down in the show notes. So make sure you check those out. We'll also put just the songs themselves. I think we'll put in a Spotify playlist so everybody can check out as well. But yeah, I think that's it.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Check out those videos. Let us know what you think in the comments, what were your favorites. Any ones that didn't make our list. I'm sure a lot of them didn't make our list.
Oh, there's one that I think both of us probably thought about was Bjork, by the way.
Absolutely. I couldn't choose one.
Oh, so quiet. Human Behavior was almost
great.
number 5.
That was great. Yeah.
I love that big ass bear.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any other recommendations, your favorite music videos, please let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Turn on your notifications so you know when we're putting out a new video. And and check us out here. Remember, we have an audio show once a week and a video show once a week. So please come visit us. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
See you, folks.
See ya.